Hey, it's Will Clayton with Pheasants Forever. I'm meeting up with my good friend Ben. Last year, we did a video with onX Hunt, and we showed you all the cool tools that app provides to find your favorite upland spot. We promised each other we were going to go on a hunt the next year. It has now been that year. I'm on my way to Ben's house. We'll probably do a little e-scouting in the basement, and then we're heading west.
Hey, buddy.
Willie.
Good to see you, man.
What's going on? Good to see you, man. Oh, you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, it's chilly.
I know. We got a little snow.
A little snow.
Feels like November.
It's fall.
All right, so we're looking at Minnesota here, and the first thing that I always do is I will go into my layers and add pretty much 3 layers to start. It's your walk-in access layer, private lands, and government lands. And that's going to pretty much give you a lot of the things. The other one I will turn on is under Hunt. It is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service areas, because it'll throw in a lot of WPAs, that kind of thing. And the first thing is I'm trying to find clusters of public land, because what you don't want to do is find a little lone island spot, right, where it's just like there's that spot and then you got to drive 30 minutes to the next one.
Correct.
So finding an area where if you get there and there's already somebody there, or you get there and you're like, dang, like this covered, it doesn't look good, then you have other options. You know, just pretty much start perusing the map essentially, finding areas that like this one, for example, here. You know, there's a complex of wildlife management areas. Here's like an area that's got a number of different pieces of public land within an area. As an example of something you probably wouldn't want to do, like over here, for example, there's a few pieces, but if there's nothing in one of these 3 places, then you're kind of in trouble. So like again, here, this area, you can tell there's a ton of different pieces of public land.
Once you found those blocks of habitat, you're going to look for a couple of things. Specifically, you know, pheasants are an edge species, right? So we're going to look for good, solid edges, like areas where birds are going to transition in and out of, where food could potentially be. You know, we don't know right now what that field was planted to. We can figure that out later, right? But we're going to look for areas with tons of edges, and edges, you know, they can be within fields as well too. You can see there's some natural drainage areas in here too where they may be in and out of, and you know, areas where we can highlight with the dogs.
So you were saying, you know, those smaller pieces, that's what I always look for. The other thing you touched on is crops. So that's a big one, right?
Yeah.
Because not all crops are created equal.
That's correct.
Yeah, so we have a layer for that. It's the crop data layer here, and pretty much what I turn on for this area is corn and soybeans, because that's pretty much what we have. So it'll tell you, so the caveat is this will tell you what is planted last year. And with a basic understanding of crop rotation, you can kind of deduce that, all right, this is what's going to be planted this year. So, because for corn, pretty much you'll never see it planted 2 years in a row, right? Typically. Yeah. So, and then vice versa, like a lot of the time soybeans will probably be in corn. So right now it's saying that last year this is corn. This is on the north side of this property, south side of the property, this is corn. So it looks like this edge, like you were saying, this edge might be hot right here. What we'll do is just go ahead and put a waypoint down here, something to check out. And I always label my waypoint. So yellow means we haven't been there, we scouted it, it looks good. We got a waypoint down here, and we're pretty much just gonna replicate this kind of across the area we're gonna try to hunt, and then pick a few spots, and then kind of before I go on a trip, maybe the night before, I'll just you know, go on a milk run, drive around, see what we can hit, and that's what we're gonna do. So
Ground truth them. We arrived at the first spot on our list, excited to see what we thought was great cover from Ben's basement. But this is why ground truthing is critical. What we found instead was a thin stand of brome grass and shallow depressional wetlands, easily filled in by the early winter storm. There's a little access that's marked. It's on the northeast corner. We had some other parcels pinned in the area, so we set off to check those out. So I'm kind of familiar with the area. I've hunted out here in the past, but it's been a couple of years, and last night was the first significant snowfall here in Minnesota. It knocked out a lot of the thinner cover. So I don't know, Ben and I are really going to be looking for the thick spots, draws, small wetlands. So it's morning, still dealing with the snow and the cold, but we'll see if they're out there. We've got a WMA right back there, and that field isn't picked. Or I mean, it's picked, but it's not plowed, you know?
Yeah, that should be good.
So I like that. There's a little access. I mean, you can see it on the map. It's got that layer on. There's a trail that brings you right down. So WMA is down here. See that? We got to jump in there quick.
And then it hooks to the left.
Yeah.
The little guy bumbling through the grass is my 6-month-old black lab Mojo. It's tough to expect too much from a puppy, but I was hoping this trip would help him connect the dots.
Yeah, him and I are a lot alike. We kind of know what we're doing.
Maybe you could learn a few things from Ben's dog Herb, a veteran Draghar no stranger to Minnesota pheasants.
All right, Moj, there's a fence in here. Don't do that.
Jeez, bunch of deer.
Here.
Is he on point?
No.
Oh, Herb.
Given the cold temperatures and early season snow, we were surprised the thermal cover wasn't holding any birds.
This is awful.
This is so thick.
We'll just do sharptails next time. They don't like cattails.
After riding the cattail struggle bus, we continued on to another spot, still looking for that elusive first rooster.
Got corn here, and there's 2 shelter belts and then a marsh. So again, like we talked about diversity.
There's a lot of diversity, but then there's a lot of thermal cover as well, so.
I'm excited about this one.
Me too.
Good boy, find them. Where are they?
Oh, another one.
Too bad they weren't all roosters.
That would have been easy. I definitely want to get that edge.
Yeah. And
You've been there for 4 minutes.
I wondered, like, because he was getting all like the odds of me telling him find it. Popular with the ladies today. Normally I wouldn't complain.
This was beautiful cover.
I know, this was,
I know.
there should have been more birds in there.
We can park here and let the dogs decide when we get there.
I like it. Deal. I've got supreme confidence in this. I know you were saying as a Vikings fan, you just assume the worst.
I always assume the worst, Ben,
Yeah.
but this gives me a tickle of excitement.
The afternoon sun had melted most of the snow, and the birds had been jumpy all day, so we identified a huge track with a deep creek bisecting the area.
I would say getting across would be important at some point. This looks like your knees might get wet.
Herbie's gonna do it.
We thought this might deter other hunters, and the sheer size of this parcel would let Ben's young pointer Amos really stretch his legs.
Now we're pheasant hunting. Get ready, coming out this side here.
Rooster!
Where?
I don't know where Amos is, but there was one that flushed right over the top of this hill. Rooster!
He had one in there. Yep. He had one pointed in there.
These birds are not cooperating.
Come here, Herb, heel. Walk up on top of this hill here and take a look. My feet are so wet at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
No doubt the spot gave a tickle of excitement, and there were tons of birds here, but it was clear they had been pressured. By this point in the afternoon, we'd gone too far, and whether we liked it or not, our day was going to end right here.
There were a lot of birds in there.
There's a lot of birds.
We put up a lot of birds.
I've been skunked before.
There comes a time in most public land hunts where you need to reassess the situation. We kept striking out, so it was time to take a moment and think about what the birds were telling us. What were we missing? And try to identify a pattern. We made the decision to leave town and landed on what looked to be a newer piece of public land, or at the very least, a new seating. The wind was whipping as it tends to do in western Minnesota, and the plan was to walk the edge towards a depressional wetland in the back corner, a natural hiding place for a rooster on a cold November day.
Oh, yes, that one held just ridiculously tight.
Nice shot, buddy.
Oh, man, that's why we do it right
That's
there.
right.
There we go. Mojo, what is
Hey.
that? A lot of miles put into that one.
That's
and
what we're looking for. That's what I was talking about kind of last night. Is the only thing missing from yesterday's adventure is this kind of cover. This is early successional habitat. It's a new seeding. This is what the birds want. And how many roosters we see on the way down?
Yeah, I mean, it had to have been 4 or 5.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're here.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Doing it.
Let's go.
Oh, feels
Let's get
good.
you one. I'll survive. What's another wet foot day, huh? Wish I was a Labrador. Come here, buddy.
Good job. No bird, Jay, no bird.
You found one. I'm sorry. How did you do that? Okay. The little dog knows what a bird smells like. I'll do better next time. Come on, we'll get one. Do it again.
Yes! Ha! Gosh, that is awesome. Good boy, Bob. That's a pretty rooster there. Oh, good job, Herbert. Thank you. Look at that's a pretty bird there, Mojo.
Pretty bird.
Mojo's like, yeah, I know what birds are.
Yeah,
Trust
he knows
me.
what they are now.
Man,
Look at that. They're holding thick like we thought they were.
you know, I thought, I've been doing this a while. Thought I knew some things, but you know what's really interesting? You're talking about this new planted cover here.
Yep.
I guess it's very similar to ducks, right? Moist soil, like a lot of the times it does better than corn, this natural food
Yep.
source.
100%.
Yeah, so
It's-
I learned something new today.
Well, that's what I'm here for. And look, it's still standing, right?
We went to school together.
We did.
Biology. And I thought when you were telling me like this, early successional, blah, 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 I was like, all right, well.
Well, you
But
know how much I
it-
paid attention in college, so at least I learned something.
It worked though, you were right, man. And
You bet.
when I see stuff like this,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Get it.
make a stop. Moj. Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, I'll hit the next one, I promise.
Yep. Good work. That was
Good
fun.
work, buddy.
Early successional habitat proved to be the key ingredient for finding birds, and Ben was reminded of a property that might just fit that description. So we loaded up the dogs and hit the road.
Come on, buddy. One more.
Good thing is, get out of the truck. It's like about 150 yards, 200 yards. We got the choir. We're ready to let the shotgun sing too. I'm thinking because I think they're gonna roll this way with the wind. Yeah.
From the time I started hunting, it's always been about the memories made together more so than the birds themselves that keeps me going.
Nice, Willie.
College brought Ben and I together the first time, and now our career paths have done it again. We kept our promise with each other to share a field this fall. It doesn't get any easier as you get older to set time aside for a hunt, but this trip didn't disappoint. There's no doubt in my mind that Ben and I have a lot more memories to make.